So what do you say to the folks where, like, what you're saying right now? I had a lot of people here that read your book because it's fascinating what you're writing about, and it kind of, I believe there's a lot of it going on today, and you got a lot of people speculating, saying this economic hitman job China's mastering. And what do you say to those that they had a president like Trump, who's the most difficult person China's dealt with, keeps putting tariffs on top of tariffs on top of tariffs on top of tariffs, and China did the ultimate economic hit job, which is the world economic hit job, by releasing a virus that got into all these other countries, and trillions of dollars was lost around the world based on a virus like that. Do you think there is any chance that a part of that virus had to do with an economic hitman's job philosophy that you have to say, you don't want to negotiate with us, you're strong arming me, watch what I'm going to do to you? Do you think any chance of that could take place with what happened recently with coronavirus?
My personal opinion, no,
Why is that?
because China suffered from it too. I think the United States made huge mistakes. If China wanted to show us as a country that's really failed in taking care of its people, it certainly succeeded in that. A country with less than 5% of the world's population has about 25% of the coronavirus deaths. That's unacceptable. That's ridiculous. The largest economy in the history of the world, and we can't take care of our people.
Mhm.
So the virus certainly showed our weaknesses up. So if China had wanted to do that, they've certainly succeeded. But it's really difficult for me to believe that anybody would create a virus like that and have it hit their own country and spread around the world. Anything's possible. I know that from my own experiences. There's always stories behind the story. So there's always that possibility. I would never say never, but in my opinion, I think that's extremely unlikely. I think people like Bill Gates had prophesied, had projected that there would be a virus about 5 or 6 years ago. He said this is likely to happen. Many medical authorities have said that it was bound to happen at some point. We were poorly prepared for it. And in my opinion, our national government has made a terrible job of dealing with the situation.
Got it. I mean, if you're saying the fact that, a country with 5% of the world population has 25% of death, that means China doesn't have that many deaths, which means it kind of worked out for them, right? If it was, because it didn't really hurt them as much as you're saying it hurt America. It destroyed America if it's like a quarter of all the death that took place based on the data that you're saying. So that means it could be possible that they did do it and it was victorious for them, no?
Yeah, Thailand's done really well too. They've had even fewer deaths because they've got such a good healthcare system. So it's possible that Thailand created the virus and planted it in a Chinese factory. Anything like that is possible. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you could say that about almost every country, because the one that's done most poorly is the United States. So I think.
Oh, no, I'm only saying it to you because you are the guy that wrote the book, Economic Hit Job, which gets us who live in America to sit there and say, if America did it to so many people, maybe China's now retaliating and doing it the ultimate way. I don't know. I'm not the one that's speculating. I'm just.
Wait a minute. We never created a virus. We never did anything.
No, I never said virus. I never said virus.
Like that. I mean, it's one thing.
Biowarfare. I never said biowarfare. I just said the model of an economic, because everybody, when you read the business model of China, the U.S., you make a very good point when you say 54% we're investing into buying ships and buying this and buying that. What for? How much of that war is really taking place today? Why don't we spend some of that money into protecting ourselves in a different military way, cybersecurity, all this other stuff? Very, very accurate statement you're making. Absolutely. The right people, I'm hoping, listen to this and realize maybe we need to go in the direction what you're talking about. The next war is not going to be the war that we're accustomed to seeing from the 70s and 80s and World War II or World War I. We're seeing the biowarfare can destroy economies and shut down an entire nation. And the one country that's always bragged about being the best in that isn't America. It's always been China. So that's why a part of this speculation, when you come in, and in the middle of the interview, my brain just went, wait a minute, if that's, what if there could be possibility? I don't know, people have brought it up to me. Let me just ask John, since he's the expert here. So, and the other part is, the complete opposite argument of the 5% of world's population, US, 300 million of 7.5 billion, yet 25% of the death. That's also assuming, John, that the data China has given the world is accurate, no?
True. It does assume that. You're right.
It's tough to trust a nation that doesn't have free press.
It is. You're right. No, I don't trust China. I'm not saying that I trust China, but I think if you look historically, countries that wage war on other countries usually want to have pretty good control over their weapons. It's one of the reasons that countries fear nuclear weapons, because we fear that we don't really have that much control. Once you set off the nuclear reaction, who knows where that's going to go? So that, based on history, it's hard for me to believe that you release a virus around the world and you don't have much control over it. You don't know who it's going to hit. And so to me, I'm not saying that biological warfare can't happen or isn't happening. Possibly it is, but if it is, we're in really, really deep trouble. And does that mean we should retaliate with our own biological weapons?
No, not at all. Zero.
What does it mean?
No, not at all. I don't think that's.
So let's say that we actually prove that China did do this. What would be our response?
I'd be curious to know what you say to, because I have my own ideas. What would you do to it if it's proven that this did happen, and we take him to the tribunal and we put him on court, everybody does the investigation, everything happens. Yep, they started it, they released it, they knew what's happening, and it caused shambles around the world. What do you think needs to happen to China?
That anybody could do? I can't possibly imagine. I really can't, Patrick. What do you think?
I got to tell you, I'm learning how you sat down with these prime ministers and presidents. And I hope all the audience is taking notes. Have you noticed how phenomenal he is?